Cybercab testing may already be underway. We have seen it out in use in places, and we think that it could be tested. But what does a perfect testing scenario look like? What do you need to actually get it out there? Do you need regulation? Do you need approval? Do you need all kinds of crazy insurance policies that would be hard to get? Do you need the permission of the public? Well, what if there was a better way? What if you could do it all yourself, in-house, in an environment that's actually perfect for it? That's what they've done. Or so it appears. I'm Brian. Welcome to Future Asa. So the criteria are pretty straightforward. You want a perfect scenario, you would have a closed environment, something you can control at least to a degree. You would want it to be big. You'd want a very big test track, miles and miles if you could. You'd want it to be inhabited, bring in movie extras sort of thing. It seems expensive, but there's a way around that. You'd want varied terrain, varied scenarios, varied situations, as varied as you can get. And at some point you'd want fake customers. Not real customers, those might get frustrated, but fake ones. I'm here to tell you we got all that and more at Giga, Texas. Let's take a look. This is the site. This is saying 987 acres. That is an old number. It has grown substantially since then, I believe. I do not believe it is just 900, but at any rate, it is huge. I've made a video showing just me counting some of it, but that's fine. We'll talk about that. Closed. It's closed. This is Tesla's land. It is not, for the most part, public roads. There are some publicly accessible roads, but they control it all. So you've got, you don't have to deal with regulators. You don't have to deal with permission. You don't have to deal with any of that stuff. There's no dogs. There's no kids. There's no cats. There might be cats, but the houses are pretty far away. You don't have people walking their pets or their grandparents or their loved ones. It is a place of work. You can control that environment a little bit, really quite a bit. You don't have drunk drivers, hopefully, because it's your place of business, and ideally you shouldn't have people intoxicated on the job. But if you do, that's something you need to address quite separately, but do address it. And in terms of big, in the video that I put together, I counted over 14 miles of road. 14 miles. That is pretty good. 14 miles of road is, and if you watch the video, you'll see that I double clicked some areas because I'm trying to make a straight line and it doesn't always work that way. And I skipped some areas and I didn't zigzag through the parking lots. I could have done that. There are more areas I could have covered, but didn't. 14 miles is a minimum amount of distance you can cover within this very busy place. And you'd want it to be inhabited. So you've got employees there. You've got people walking around. You've got cars moving around. You've got equipment moving around, trucks, cranes, you name it. You will not see a greater diversity of vehicles and pedestrians than at an active construction site, which this is. That's a good mix of things. So, of course, we've got to show this from Joe Tegmeyer's video. It is footage. Now, I'm not going to play the video at this part anyway, but there is, you can see it out and about on the lot in operation. And right here, you can see it behind him in that tree there. And it is something where they are able to operate it. We can't even tell if someone's in it. They have put a tint on the front windshield. Can't tell if there's anyone in it. And you know what? Yeah, tint the front window. The driver doesn't need to see. Just don't tint the part with the camera. Or spec the camera in such a way that it can see through the tint. You get the idea. So you've got all these benefits piling up on each other. Also, I should mention YouTube has recently done another subscriber purge. I lost about 200 subscribers in one day, on a day when I didn't say anything crazy, and they didn't show up as being lost on any particular video. They just evaporated. Please check if you're subscribed. Make sure that YouTube has not unsubscribed you. It happens from time to time. It's a little bit frustrating. So when we're talking about this, when we're saying, what have we got? We want a varied test course. We want slow roads. We want fast roads. I don't need highway right now. We know Tesla works very well on highways. The autonomy has been doing a great job there for a long time. I'm not worried about that. What we need is slow roads. which they have, fast roads, which they have. There's 30 places you can go 30, 35, probably 40 miles an hour within the site, legally and safely. You want dirt roads? Sure, we got dirt roads. You want an overpass? There is an overpass down at the south end there by the river. You want something that's always changing. Nothing is changing more rapidly and consistently than this. You want a parking lot? We've got tons of those. Do you want a parking structure? Let's test it inside a parking structure. We've got a parking structure on site. That's an advantage. And it can go in the building, I guess, or out of the building, sure. But what if you also had a boring tunnel in which to test? Oh my gosh, there's only a handful of these in the world. But there's one right here at the place where it's testing. This is as exciting as it could possibly be. This is good stuff. What more could you want? I guess more varied weather. Well, it does rain in Texas, at least in Austin. It gets hot. It gets cold. You don't get as much snow, but that's, one thing that's missing. You get storms, you get wind, you get all that. Snow is pretty rare. We may have an opportunity for it to test in the snow next winter or this winter even. Who knows? It's still early. It's only just now December. Happy December, everybody. You can see how festive I'm getting with my lights that are of a level of excitement commensurate with the tree. I think that's fair to say. So what have we got going on here? The last thing you need is customers. And again, I didn't say real customers. I said test customers, example customers. What are we doing with example customers? We are moving them from the parking lot to wherever it is on site that they work. Maybe we're moving them during the day. If someone needs to run over to the dye shop for some reason, hail a Cybercab. It'll take you there. There are a lot of ways you could work it, and it would be an effective test method. And if it gets you there late, I can show the boss. Look, it literally, here's my pickup at 06 and it dropped me at 14. It should have dropped me at 12. That's nothing I could do about it. There's no wheel. To my knowledge, there's no button that you press and yell, go faster. Although the new version of FSD does have a hurry setting versus a standard setting. That's pretty cool. I've used it once. I thought it did what I would have done in that situation. And then I turned it off because I'm rarely in that kind of hurry. But I was trying to get to an event on time. So yeah, that's it. That's why they're testing it, I believe, in Austin. That's why it's a good idea. They're outside the bounds of public scrutiny. They can have their own. Everyone there is an employee or a contractor. Everyone there is an adult. Everyone there is alert and sober and doesn't have pets or their grandmother in a wheelchair with them. All of those things exist in the real world. They will be tested for. There's no need to test for them today. Let's get everything else sorted out and then work on the hard parts next. The world is analog. A lot. Someone said to me, well, if supercomputers can solve chess and Go, why can't they solve FSD? Why is every manufacturer, every research group, every government agency, everyone who has tried to tackle this, why have all of them so far failed? And the answer is, those games have rules. Driving is a game of exceptions. Everything is an exception. The other parties on the road do not have to follow rules. And interestingly, they don't. Boy, do they don't. They are good at don'ting. So that's a lot of fun. Hey, on December 7th, there is a global Tesla light show. Simon from xlightshows.io is putting it on. Clubs all over the world are participating. It should be fun and interesting. I'm going to be in Chattanooga in March for the Chattanooga Charge. And I'm going to be in Muskegon in June for the Tesla takeover that they're hosting in June. And I'll be at the X takeover in California in July. Beyond that, I've got a couple other things going on, but I'll let you know as I know. I'm likely traveling a little bit less in 2025 than 2024 because in 2024, I saw six countries, I think 26 states. And that was a lot. That was a lot of work. What did I miss? What did I misunderstand? Leave it in the comments below and stay tuned, stay juicy. I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots on the flippity flap.